welcome to Between the Studs. I am your host, Wilson from Home Improvement.
Wait.
No, that's not right.
Oh, I think that's the other one.
That's not right.
Yeah.
That was a sight gag. Sorry for listening to the podcast. I'm hiding behind a giant box here. But I'm your host, Daniel. I'm joined today by Joe and Randy. And today we are going to be talking about the best and worst of Lego ideas. I'm going to have to put this on.
You're gonna have to, yeah.
I can't.
It's gonna, there we go. There we go.
Okay,
Takes up
great.
to, oh, sorry, hit his knee.
Much
All right.
better.
That was probably really good for the podcast listeners.
Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah.
It was a big giant box, trust us.
Well, we do jokes here. We like to have fun.
We're funny guys.
We are talking about the best and worst of Lego ideas. So we are going to sort of do a alternating. We've each picked 5 sets. We've picked 3 of our favorites and 2 of our least favorite idea sets, and only 1 licensed set out of those 5. So we will go through and we will talk about our favorites and our worst. I'm sure some of these are going to be some controversial picks as well. So you'll have to let us know in the comments whether you agree or blatantly disagree. I'm sure is more likely. So you'll have to let us know. But without further ado, let's talk about Lego ideas. Of course, the theme that has a separate platform, a separate website where fans can submit their ideas for what they want to be made as a Lego set. If they receive 10,000 votes, they go into the review phase where Lego determines feasibility and if they have to get licensing arrangements and things before deciding if they're going to make the set, and then they produce the set. So it is a long, arduous road to get a set made into an idea set, and it has had sort of a long history as well, starting in some of the early years actually as Lego Kuso or Kusu, before being Cusco's right, the set designed specifically for Cusco. Cusco's set. You made me lose my whole train of thought.
Sorry, that's too funny.
Yes, but anyway, a long road for sets to be made into idea sets, and a long, interesting history. There are over, what do we say, over 70?
There is 70 exactly.
Yeah.
Idea
and
sets.
that is including the gift with purchase ideas as well.
Correct. They do number those.
We didn't pick any today just because it just added too much extra into the fodder.
It's also including those Kuso sets. Those were numbered 1 through 5.
The first 5 were technically labeled Kuso.
And then the first ideas one, they did continue with number 6. They didn't restart that numbering. I had always thought there were more Kuso sets than that.
Yeah,
but it
I was surprised
really
it
only
was
the first
the 5.
few.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to start off with a good set. So who wants to go first? Joe, you want to start us off?
I'll start on the end. My first good set is the newest one I have on my list, which is the Viking Village that came out. I think it was last year, or now it's last year's 2023.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
Year before last.
Oh, wow, even longer ago. But 2023 is when it came out. 2,081 pieces, 4 figs. Nothing crazy, but I really like it, and it's a set that gave me How to Train Your Dragon vibes because it's the Viking style, and I'm a big How to Train Your Dragon guy, so this is one I picked up pretty quick after it came out, and I've had it for a while. I still love it. I think it's very well done. The figs have all the different Viking armor and shields and stuff, so I think it's a fantastic set, and I'd highly recommend it.
Now, this one was part of a contest or something, I believe, wasn't it?
I think it was with like Target specifically.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting one.
Because I remember when we were talking about the rumors and stuff for it, we thought it was going to be part of like a whole nother Target wave of Lego stuff, like as they'd done all the different merchandise. So it seems that this didn't end up being part of that and just kind of ended up being a pretty standard Target exclusive release. But a good choice nonetheless. Now, I've heard some differing opinions about maybe the structural integrity of the set.
If you had to pick a problem with it, it would be the way it's connected in the 3 sections is not the most secure. So if you lift it up underneath, it can be a little wobbly. So just pick a good spot and leave it.
Difficult to relocate. Yeah. There you go. All right. Excellent first pick.
I love that one.
All right, my first pick is going to be one we've got on the table here. This is the Exo Suit. This is a very early one from 2014. One of the most notable things about this was that the 2 minifigs it included were the
Pete
green...
and Yvonne, baby.
Pete and Eve, not Yvonne. Close.
Short for you.
Close. Yeah, probably. But yes, these are the 2 green spacemen, which are still exclusive to this set, which is wild. They are still re-releasing and producing new colors of classic spacemen, but this is one of the first times they ever recolored outside of the original colors, because this was prior to the Lego Movie 2 set. They came out with the magenta and Jenny, Benny, and Kenny, all of those. So this is one of the first of those. So these are still using the classic motorcycle helmets. And what's also unique is that recently in a Monkey Kid set, they finally remade the reissue space helmet in green, which you could add to these if you want. But Regardless of that, I remember buying this set when it first came out. I liked it that much. It was only $35 retail.
Very nice.
Back in
What do we got in
2014, and I still have this one put together. I never took it apart.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a little clunky for a mech build, but it's very
It's an
cool.
Exo
There's a lot
Suit,
of unique details. It was a very unique set at the time. You get this little like turtle thing, and there's like these barrels of toxic waste or something you can grab and move around or throw or whatever. So a very unique build, very cool. Stuff that I think was more true to the original purpose of Lego ideas.
Yeah.
So we do have one of these certified right now as well. You can pick this up on atlbrick.com.
And the set designer's name was actually Peter, and I believe this was either his partner who did it with him, or if it was just his significant other. I don't know for sure, but at least it's cool they got actually minifigs for themselves. That's pretty neat.
Sometimes you get things like that with like the set designers or the idea designers as like license plates or like little other small nods, but this is cool that they put it on the outside of the box art as well. That was kind of like when they were doing Lego factory sets, which was one of the other many predecessors, along with like the I'm trying to remember what the name of it was for the first Blacksmith set, the really old one by Dan Siskind. I don't even think they called that anything. But anyway, Lego Factory, they would put the names of the builders on the back. So like the Space Skulls and Star Justice have Chris Giddens and Mark Sandlin's name on the back of the box, which is pretty cool. But yes, anyway, that's my pick. So, all right, on to you, Randy. What do you have for your first good set?
My first one for good set is the Old Fishing Store. I just think top to bottom, everything about this set is so good. It's a 2017 set, has 2,033 parts with 4 minifigs, and it fits perfectly into my aesthetic. And I just think it's such a fun set, and there's so much you can add to it to make it part of your little Legoland at your house.
Fair.
It's so good. Yeah.
It's got seagulls in it.
It does have seagulls. It has seagulls. It does have seagulls. But the seagulls, but they fit with the set. Yeah. And there's not that many of them.
It is a good set. I think
mine may be hidden inside.
Nice.
So I don't have to look at them every day.
Yeah.
But I just think it's really good. It's a delicate set with all the reddish brown.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
It's a very delicate set. But mine has withheld for a while now.
Good,
so,
that's good.
Yeah.
You don't hear mystery crackling at night.
So far, no. So far, it's still
Levi's.
Levi's,
He said he bought one and he built it, and he said that night he just heard.
Yeah. I mean,
it seems like if you have one that was built early on and you left it built, it's pretty okay because it can slowly adjust. But if you're buying like a new one and building it, or
so
a used
brittle
one,
at that point.
Yeah,
you're putting yourself at great risk.
Yeah.
I did get mine certified here from
and
the store,
and
it's living its best life. It is, and it's in our basement. But we have a finished basement, so it's temperature controlled and everything. But I made it and I set it, and there it lives. So,
set it and forget it, right?
So that's where it is.
Yeah, it is a good set though for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent choice. All right, well that's the best. Let's talk about the worst. Let's do a bad pick. Let's get spicy. Joe, what do you got for us? Give us something controversial.
Look at this great set in front of me, guys. Look at this good set.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Some of you are going to be like, wow, I can't believe you don't like that. But I don't listen to K-pop at all. So this has nothing for me. I don't.
We need to take you to Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue with us.
There you go. So I just don't know it at all.
Yeah.
I will say there's good parts of this set, and there's things that came out of the set that are good. But as a set, I just don't think this is that good. And
a lot of unique minifig parts.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing. I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad set, but out of all the ideas sets, me looking at it, this is one of my least favorite.
Yeah.
Just because it has no bearing on me. But as it sat here in front of me, I have noticed some cool things. I really like the torso with the sunglasses printed like it's sitting there. So and good hair pieces. It's very unique, and it might be a cool set to you, but for me, this just holds nothing.
And this is one that was, people were ravenous for this when it first
sold
came out.
Instantly. And
people were reselling them and flipping them.
Right.
It was chaos at first, and now they are just
everywhere.
Yeah.
The initial rush was people who really wanted it, and that was it. The market ended there.
Yeah.
So
I believe the original designer for this one was JB Brick Fanatic, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's a pretty big social media presence.
K-pop definitely has its fan base, so
I
can definitely see how when it first came out, it got grabbed up real quick. But
feel free to diss on me all you want. I'm not going to feel hurt by it. It's just not my thing
a great
at
set.
all. Yeah,
it's not for me.
It's just not a very exciting set in general.
Yeah.
Best thing about it is the big donut.
It's kind of like the sitcom ones, but there's even less going on. Than
right,
some of
you barely have anything to actually pose them in, except in the front or on the stage on the back. So,
yeah,
just not great in my opinion.
All right. Well, that was a good choice.
Yeah.
For a bad one. All right. Here
Now,
comes.
Give us your good
What you got?
bad one.
Yeah.
Give us your good bad one.
Here comes another controversial one. I'm sure. I am doing the Tuxedo Cat set.
Yeah.
Which just came.
Oh.
Which just came out last year, 2024. 1,700 pieces. I think the biggest problem with this set for a lot of people. This is very popular. Lots of cat people bought it, I'm sure. The biggest problem was that this one came in an ideas review phase that had tons of great sets.
Yeah.
And this was the only set that they picked from that review phase, I believe. And that's just, I don't know. It feels a little lackluster when there's all these different properties and not even licensed properties and some other things that people want, and we get Cat. The name of the original submission wasn't even Tuxedo Cat. It was just
Cat.
Cat. And I thought it was a joke, I think, when I read it first. When it was like Lego, probably it was like 2023 or early 2024 review phase results are in. The winner is Cat. And I was like, really?
Insane.
That's the best you can muster, Lego ideas? So, I don't know. I'm not a big cat person. There are cats that I like, but I'm not like a cat person.
Right.
So I don't know. $100 for this. Again, I'm sure it was a good deal. I'm sure a lot of cat people were very happy to get this. I see it posted time and time again, especially amongst people who have cats that look like that are black with the white spots. But this one just didn't do it for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think what really hurts it is the idea submission had the parts to make, the skeleton of it. Also, you had like a black cat and a tabby.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool. This is good." And then they gave you one, and the eyes can change color.
Yeah.
Which there is precedent for because the Fender Stratocaster was another
Right,
Lego
they
idea.
did it with two different whole colorations.
Now
you
that's
could do.
only the bottom
it's a
part
much
of the
different
guitar
parts.
doesn't require a
Right.
ton of pieces. This I'm sure they just determined it would have required
too
way
many.
too many pieces
Right.
that you wouldn't have used. But
I just don't think it's not very posable. It just kind of sits there, which is what cats do anyway. But
it just doesn't feel true to the original purpose of Lego Ideas sets. Again, to me, I think Ideas has lost its way a little bit in recent years.
I don't disagree.
They still do a lot of licensed things, but I think with some of the unlicensed things, they're straying further from kind of the bread and butter of Lego Ideas.
Right.
Okay, and I'm a cat person. Oh, kind. I like dogs more, but we have cats, and I have a black cat. So when this came out, everybody's like, "You're gonna get this cat, right?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah.
I think it, especially sitting on the shelf, like you lose a lot. Like it just looks like a black rubbiness with the face. I like that you can change the eyes out. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
The best thing I think that came out of this set is all the pictures of people taking the open box with their actual cat sitting in it. Is the funniest thing to me, and that's the most amusing. And shout out to Garrett because I know he loves this set.
Right,
so,
yeah. We're dissing on it for our boy.
it's not for me. I didn't buy it, and I have a black cat, and I like black cats, but hard pass.
But
it
you
was a hard
have
pass for me.
The cat, so you don't need.
I don't
another
need.
cat.
Yeah, I have a nice big fluffy kitty. Yeah.
You can't cuddle a
No,
plastic cat.
no. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to you, Randy. What is your first bad pick for today?
My bad pick for today is this lovely bunch of coconuts right here. Set number 21301, and it is birds. Look, you got the cat, you got the birds. This is for the birds for me.
The birds.
Cut.
Nice.
I am not a fan of birds, but this is just very lackluster to me, especially for an idea set. When you see all these cool things that come out with them, they're very, I don't know, it's very blah. I really don't like the hummingbird, and it just everything about it is just no.
I'm trying to read some of these.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
These
Yeah. Would you like
here.
to say the names of the birds?
Crostata, isn't that like that's like a Italian dish?
It seems like it should be,
Like
right?
some crostatas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like bluebird. I know the hummingbird, but when you see the pictures on the back and you see this hummingbird's a really pretty hummingbird.
Yeah.
It just doesn't equate to that over there. And then you got chunky redbird and then bluebird.
Chunky red.
And I just am. I don't know. They're not very big. They're not very exciting. And I don't know, for all the colors Lego has and different things, I don't know. It's an absolute no for me.
I see what
It's
they were
no
going
for me, chef.
I see what they were going for here. I think this would have gone over better nowadays. I mean, we've gotten things like the insects and things that
Which
kind
is
of
the same style, just way
Right.
better.
Yeah.
Way better, yeah.
Way better.
They pair well with like botanicals and things. It's
Uh-huh.
very much people who are into like the natural world and things
Right.
like
Yeah.
that. I think this one was a little too ahead of its time. They're very kind of simplistic
Yeah.
and brick and plate built.
Yeah.
They're very.
I think they could have
Yeah.
done a much better job with something
They're kind
like
of
this
blocky.
nowadays.
Yeah.
All right, let's circle on back to Joe.
Yeah.
And this round we're going to go back to good sets, but this is going to be our round that is specifically for licensed sets. So these are all going to be licensed good sets based on either movies or TV shows or whatever.
All right, this is probably my favorite Lego Ideas set ever,
Can't believe you stole this from me.
and
Oh.
I picked it first, so that I did it.
I know, I gave you first dibs.
This is the Tron light cycle.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was obvious, guys. 21314. I didn't have to look up that set number. I knew that one. But it's such a good set. It retailed for $35, same as Exo Suit, which is crazy because it's like 120 now sealed. But it's just a fantastic.
What year
set.
did you say it was?
2018.
2018. Okay.
Yeah, so
so
it
much
was
later.
it was a little bit later.
I remember buying that one when it was retail too. Though.
that was one that the idea submission was just the one light cycle.
Yeah.
And Lego actually beefed it up and made it both of them, which I think is great because then you have that dual coloration,
Yeah.
which, man, they look so good. The printed
So
wheels,
good.
excellent. And then it comes with great figs, which you get, of course, Sam Flynn, the main character, Korra, the ISO, and then Rinsler, Tron in bad version.
Which is so cool. You get the
He's
discs in
so
the orange
sick.
color.
Yeah, so
and
he's got the
helmet
2
and stuff.
discs, too.
That's right.
Which is
You
cool.
did get both discs for him. Yeah.
So he had the Technic pen where you could put 2 on his, and then each Korra and Sam each had the 1. And the outfits look they're just so well done, and it holds up today. I mean, that was 20. That's 7 years ago now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm glad they
I know
gave
you
us
love this too.
the 3 figs because the core just kind of stands off to the side.
Yeah,
while the other
literally,
2 on the
my
back.
Korra just kind of stands right
So
there beside him.
For a long time, I've wanted to make that like tank car
Right,
vehicle thing
dude,
that she
straight
drives
up.
when she busts into the arena.
That'd be so cool.
I need to make that so she's got something to sit in because otherwise
Yeah.
she's just kind of standing there.
I'd love
That'd
if,
be fun.
if possible, if they'd make more with the new movie coming out.
Could
It's
be.
possible.
Could
Yeah.
get a
Could
get a
happen.
Jay Leno. What's it called? Tron Ares. Is that
Yeah,
right?
Ares
Yeah.
is right.
Ares. Yeah.
I think one of the coolest features is the fact they took that flag piece and put it in the translucent colors, like the banner, as the kind of that trail they had, because that's such an important part of it. Like you recognize
Sure.
that, it
Yeah.
makes it look like they're actively going. So
For sure.
fantastic
For sure.
set, and man, $35. I would have bought so many of these
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
if I had money when they were retail.
Yeah. Excellent choice. And another one
It's a great one.
like I said, bought retail and still have put together.
It's great.
I
I actually
only
put a light
have-
kit in mine.
I only have like a shelf or 2 dedicated to Lego Ideas
Yeah.
sets, and the Exo Suit is one of them, and the Tron set is
Yeah.
one of them.
Well, and this was like a good size. You know, they've gotten
They're
to do
small,
the much
yeah.
bigger ones, which are cool. But I
Yeah.
like that it's really good, and it's not doesn't have to be
Small
huge.
Lego
Yeah,
sets, yeah.
We
So
went-
cheaper too.
We went to Disney a couple years ago, and we went on the Tron ride and came back,
Oh,
and we
man.
bought and then we
Oh,
got that.
so
crap.
jealous.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like that even more. I'm going in March.
Yes. Oh,
And
you're
I'm
gonna love
so
it.
excited.
It's so
Oh,
good. So we
let's
came
go.
I'm so
back,
jealous.
and then
I
our
still need
kids
to
got
ride it.
into
Yeah.
it, so it reamped the fan base all over again. And then for Christmas, I got that for
That's
my son
gonna
that
be
year.
so cool.
Yeah. I paid a little more than
Actually,
retail,
I
but not
remember that.
crazy.
Yeah, I remember you
so
were
it
like,
was
hey,
a
do
few
we
years
have
ago.
that Tron set?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Daniel.
Another set I still have put together is my choice for the licensed round, which is the Lego WallE.
All you guys in the comments are gonna be like, "Oh, finally!"
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
waiting for that. This is set 21303, the WallE. This one came out in 2015. Another surprisingly old one,
Yeah.
but one that still holds up very well because it used the mostly bright light orange, which is a color that I wouldn't even think of as being that old necessarily, but
Right.
you know it is. It's been around for a hot minute. So they did a great job with that. Now, one of the maybe hiccups in the road with this set was that there was an issue with the neck connection
Yeah.
where his head would just kind of swivel around and flop down. But they re-released the set. They went back and I guess had to open them up or change the parts out or something, and they included like a little paper slip in the instructions with how to build it in the more secure manner using
Right.
the kind of bigger ball joints there. So they did correct their mistake about as well as you could. They included that. I believe they even still have. There's some story that I read somewhere where it's like the parts required to swap that out will always be on bricks and pieces because they never know if somebody's buying like a new sealed one of the original ones from before they had switched that over. So
That's
they like
fair.
always have
That's
to be
very
able to
interesting.
provide those parts to make that to make that conversion. So
That's
kind of an
cool.
interesting little side tidbit with this set. But This one retailed for $60, which is crazy.
It's like $400
given
now.
for how much it goes for now. Yeah, we did a certified
They
one
sell
not that
so
long
quick
ago.
too.
Yeah.
Like we never have them.
Always
for that
goes
long.
quick.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how many people are subscribed to that listing on our
It's a
website to
lot.
get
Yeah,
notified
yeah.
as soon as we get it in
Yeah.
stock. But another fantastic set here
Mhm.
with this one. One I'm proud to own and have on display. still.
Yeah, that's a good investment right there.
Yeah, no kidding. Just built. I don't even
Yeah.
know if I think I do have the instructions for it somewhere. I don't know if I
Nice.
saved the box.
Yep.
But there you go. That is my good licensed set. How about you, Randy?
Oh, I have one of the absolute best. One of the absolute
come on,
best.
we all saw this
2023 set. No one's going to be surprised by this. It's set 21341. Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus.
Sanderson's.
The Sanderson Sisters, beautiful,
Cottage.
beautiful home. It's so good. The 9 figures on it are great. Didn't come with a Billy. That's the only complaint I
Only
have with
9
it.
figures?
It comes with 9 figures, and one of them is not Billy, but I was gifted that. So it's 2,270. Has the wheel that goes, and then the purple,
that's
the
so
purple, the
cool.
translucent purple
Yeah.
piece that comes out of the
Mhm.
top with the smoke. It's
Is it like one of the
so
like
good.
satin glittery ones?
I think
too?
so.
It's not
Yeah.
glittery, but it's satiny. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so pretty. It's not like kind of purpley pink, but oh, it's so gorgeous. I go the inside with the black flame candle. I also would have loved to have Thackeray Binks as a boy, but it's okay. It's
that
one of
would-
those things.
You're right.
It's okay. Even without that though, it's still so
At least they
good.
gave
Like
him
the
cat
It's got the
white
little
shirt
graveyard,
with
yeah,
the-
the little graveyard
Yeah.
scene, and then it's
It's pretty
the
cool.
inside of it. Every inch of it is just
Yeah.
so fun, and
They
it's
nailed the
very
sisters.
good.
Like
they really
they
did.
look just like them.
They do. They really, really. Every part of it was so good.
Now you built this one on. Didn't we do like a Joy of Building or something?
I
Where you built
think
part
we
of it?
did do a
Like
Joy Building.
a
Yeah,
2 or
I
3
think
part.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Around Halloween.
I was very
guess
happy.
Yeah.
Year before last. maybe?
I was full of joy the whole time I built it.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Mhm.
Excellent pick, Randy.
Yep.
I remember you were very excited when that one came
Oh,
Very
out.
yeah.
excited. Yep.
Over the moon.
All right, back to you, Joe. Let's get back to the negative.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We've done the good, the bad. Let's get into the ugly.
All right. You guys are not ready for this.
Okay.
I mean you guys. You guys, you'll be fine with it. This is. Let me find myself. 21332. The Globe. This is a good set idea. And I like the idea of it being a globe, and I like the way it looks. But my biggest complaint is it's a globe. What do you do with the globe? You spin it around, right? And you have to touch it to spin it around. And the way they've made all the panels connect is very fragile. It falls apart so easily. We've had so many built ones get traded in here, and people are like, I just kept breaking every time I touched it. And it's like, it looks great. It really does. And it's so close, but I hate that it's always breaking. You know, because the whole point is like, oh, let me look at that part of the world. And oh, that broke off again.
Yeah.
It's just not practical. So it's disappointing because it is a good idea. And it looks good, but it's just not quite there. So I think it's bad because of the practicality.
I feel there. It was a very difficult engineering challenge, I'm sure.
Oh,
They did
yeah.
a pretty good job with it, but I know there's concerns amongst people even just, over time with the panel sagging and things not working quite right. And so I think this is only going to continue to be plagued with issues, but it's a great looking set, but not
Just
not functionally the best
Yep.
necessarily. So, all right, good pick there. I'm going to do another pretty controversial one here, I think. I'm going to do
good.
set 21318. This is the Ideas Treehouse.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very popular set, but it's one I've never personally been fond of, and I even know a handful of people like you, Joe, who have owned this.
I
and
have
then-
at one point owned it, actually, until recently when I traded it in because I was tired of it.
and decided not to own it anymore.
We had one and traded it in two.
There's several issues here, both with fragile brown, brittle brown.
Yep.
It's just not a fun build, too. The whole trunk is the
Very
most
difficult to
arduous
build.
process.
It's so
Yeah.
bad.
So difficult to build, can potentially have brittle brown in it. It can get very dusty. It's very difficult
so
to
hard
dust.
to dust that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of generic,
Yeah.
fragile. The limbs can kind of sag.
Well, that's what I say with mine. When I went to trade it, I pulled it off the shelf and I was like, man, all the connection points were literally bending down, and I was like, the Lego's hurting it, so it's disappointing.
The other option is you have the option to swap out the leaves, the foliage, for kind of that fall color, which
Yeah.
looks
Cool,
great,
which
but
great, but
also
it's
I
not
never did that.
be a huge
I
pain to
never
do.
did that.
Yeah, it would be a huge pain. So
Yeah.
again, I think it was a good idea. I don't think it was necessarily the best execution. I think it looks.
Yeah.
Personally, it's a very kind of cluttered style to me. It's very busy. There's a lot going on, and it's just kind of a noisy set to me. I don't
Yeah.
know. I've
Yeah.
never
For
personally been compelled to own it, but it's interesting that
Yeah,
both of you
but
have
you
owned
had it,
this
We
and
have
no
and
longer
don't.
own it.
Yes,
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
that reason.
Yeah.
It was not a
Oh,
fun.
I put it on
agree.
the floor.
Yeah,
but
here it is. Here it is.
After
We
that
have
rave
it. There we
review, if
go.
you decided you want to own one, we have
I
one.
will
We have
say,
one.
I do like aspects of it. It does look good on display. The reason
It
I traded
looks
it
beautiful.
was because of space, and there was something else I wanted more. But the cabins were fun to build. That was
Yeah.
it. The tree itself was not. So
There's cool features. There's a little bathroom with like
It's
a
a
shower
great
and
idea
sinks and
again.
stuff, and there's a swing underneath.
Just-
There's a lot of great details.
we're trying to find bad things about idea sets, and in general, idea sets are some of the best.
It is
sets.
difficult to do. It is
So,
difficult to do.
right.
So some of these are pretty minor gripes.
Right.
And
We're
mind
doing
you,
what we can.
we play with our Legos. Like, I still enjoy the playability of them to goof around with them and do
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
And if every time I touch it, it falls apart,
It's just not-
It,
yeah.
it makes it not fun, and
Right.
then it's not fun to look at or to enjoy. So
Right.
we traded
Very
it
fair. Very fair.
Hit
All
us
right.
with the bad.
What's your last bad set, Randy?
in. All right, mine is set 21337, which is the table football.
I think this is the one everyone can agree
Yeah.
with.
Oh, I was when it first
Well,
you
we got
heard
the
about
rumor,
it. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, okay, and then
So
you
exciting.
see it, and then you look at it, and you're like, there's no point. You can't play with it. You can't do
Yeah,
anything with it. It just
Too many
sits.
parts
But
were put
too
into
many
the
parts,
stand.
yeah.
But hey, look on the bright side. It was only
Yeah.
$250 retail.
Yeah,
That's a joke.
because there's nothing better than $200. I just and-
So sad, really.
and we're gaming people at our house, so
Yeah.
I really enjoy foosball,
Oh, yeah.
table football, whatever you want to call it. You know,
Foosball.
and it was just. You can't do anything with it.
yeah.
It was just, it needed to be playable.
Yeah,
It really did.
They put
and
way
just
too many
nothing.
parts into building up the structure
The
of
structure,
it. That
yeah.
There
The
was
legs
like
for
no room to play.
And how do you
Yeah.
display it even? Like, you just see the outside. Like, there's
Yeah.
no,
And like literally to play it, you're like,
yeah. You
It-
just can't.
it's just-
You
it's
can't.
just-
So
It
it's
doesn't
only
work.
it's what, 2 handles per
Yeah.
side.
so
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was the minifigs, which don't get me wrong, having a whole slate of diverse characters and minifig
Was
parts
cool.
was
Yeah,
fantastic,
great.
and it was cool. I don't think this was the right set for it.
Right.
I don't think the set should have had any minifigs.
It
They could have
should've
just
just
done
been-
little brick built
Yeah.
people like you see on a foosball
Right.
table.
Exactly.
That would have saved you the cost of minifig parts, which is a lot more than standard minifig parts
Right.
when you're talking
Yeah.
about the retail value of a set. And it shouldn't have had a base.
Yeah.
It should have been a flat thing that sits
Make
on
it
the
bigger,
table,
yeah.
like the old soccer
Right.
or
Yeah.
basketball
Those are perfect. Yeah.
games.
Right.
And they should have made foosball like that. And
Mhm.
they could have, it doesn't have to be, because what does a full table have? Is it only 4 per side?
It's
Is it 8
5,
total?
right?
I think it's 5, yeah.
5 maybe? Okay,
no,
well,
no, I think it is.
they could have
4.
gotten
Wait.
closer either
Goalies,
way.
mid, the main one.
Because you
and
can do
then
it with
an
2
attacker.
player, and
Yeah.
each person has
Yeah,
2.
there's
So
four.
I think it's 4
There's
per
4.
side.
Yeah.
Either
It's 4.
way, even if they couldn't have gotten all 4 on both sides, I think they could have gotten much closer and made a much more playable game if they had
Yeah.
made the parts go to
Yeah.
what
It's
needed
just
to make the game
unusable.
function.
It just,
Yeah,
it
it's
just
not.
really
you can't really
is.
play it, and
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
disappointing because
I-
that was exciting.
I
Yeah.
would say that is probably our least controversial.
Yeah, yeah.
I think a
Yeah,
lot
we
of you
all
can agree with
yeah.
us on that one.
Yeah, excellent choice, Randy. All right,
Yeah.
for our final round,
All right.
we are back to the good to round us out. So, Joe, start us off
Dude,
for our final
this
round.
this is a banger, guys. 21325, 2021 set. The Medieval Blacksmith.
Oh, yeah.
This
excellent.
is just a gorgeous, gorgeous set. As soon as this came out, we were all drooling over it. This is kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
when they were like, "Hey, Castle's been dead for a while, but here you go," and
Yeah.
everyone was like, "What is this? This
yeah.
is Castle." And man, building that set was so much fun. The roof is the most satisfying thing out there.
It's beautiful.
I love
A little
those
Nexo
Nexo
tiles.
shields
Yeah.
and all of the different colors with the sand colors in there. Man, it's a fantastic set. It looks great. I have it with several other castle sets, and I'm never gonna get rid of it. It's just
Yeah.
too good. It was 180 retail. This is retired now, so I think it slowly started to go up. I think it's around 250 now, but still a good deal. So I would snag one if you can. I think Orlando has a few, so definitely go buy them there. It's fantastic, and it's one you can get multiples of and just cobble together a great castle set. So
Yeah.
yeah, awesome set.
It's beautiful.
I mean,
It really
do
is.
you guys own this
We
one?
own it.
I own this, and I've not built it.
Oh,
This was one of the
so
first
good.
sets that I actually bought, like, before I even had a set backlog. Because
Nice.
I bought it because I knew I was going to want it, and I just still have not had
It's a
the
good thing
space
you
to
have
display it.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be sitting on this one for a while
Nice.
before I end up
Yeah.
building it.
It's just, it's so good.
Excellent choice. All right. For my final choice, we are going to talk about the Dinosaur Fossils set. This is set 21320, and this one came out in 2019. So longer ago than I would have thought, honestly. It's
Yeah.
6 years old now.
I feel like it was retail for a while though.
It probably was out there for a while. But this is an excellent one. Again, I feel like this was more kind of the bread and butter of Lego idea sets. I think it was a good compact size.
Yeah.
It wasn't a licensed thing. It was just something that Lego probably wouldn't have made otherwise. And
Right.
that's really what the
That's
purpose
the
of
point,
Lego
yeah.
ideas is. It should have been like, oh yeah, why isn't that already a Lego set?
Mhm.
Not, oh hey, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want BTS Dynamite. I
Right.
want
Yeah.
this. But anyway, so this is an excellent set. You get the 3 different fossils. You get the like Pteranodon, you get the Triceratops, and you get the T-Rex,
Right.
which is epic. It's
And
awesome.
the Homo sapien.
And the Homo sapien. You
sapien,
get
yeah.
the little skeleton
I love
minifig
it.
with like the I don't know if it's supposed to be like a Johnny Thunder reference with the fedora hat or
Maybe,
Indiana
yeah.
Jones or something. And then you do get the other little minifig, which I
Right.
guess is like kind of an archaeologist,
that's what he
museum
seems to be.
curator
Yeah.
guy. And then he's got like a little trunk with like some books and
Mm-hmm.
some artifacts and stuff in it. So a fun little set with some fun extra
Yeah.
details. Obviously, the main part is those 3 big fossil
Right.
builds, and they're cool. They've got like the little name plaques with them as if
Yeah,
they were
they look super cool.
in a museum. So, and to get this before we ever
Yeah.
had the modular building for the museum, I mean,
Yeah.
having a museum was something that people were asking for years and years
Yeah.
and years from Lego, and we finally got it in the form of that modular building. But
Yeah.
this was kind of one of the things that you could have gotten before that to kind of
Right.
slake
Yeah.
your thirst, if you will,
Right.
for sort of museum type things. So this is one of my favorite sets. Again, this is one that I bought retail and still have on display. So on my Lego Ideas shelf, it's most of the ones we've talked about. It's the Tron Light Cycle, it's the WallE, it's the Dinosaur Fossils,
And the Exo Suit.
it's the Exo Suit,
Yeah.
and then some of the other like smaller gift with
Nice.
purchases. Like I think I still have the vintage car and
That's a good
the
one.
Cosmic
Nice.
Cardboard Adventures,
Yeah.
and
Love it.
I don't even know what else, but yeah,
Yeah,
only a handful of
The
sets. I
thing
still
with this
have on my
fossil
shelf.
set is it retailed for $60 and the part count's like
$60.
800 and something, I feel
Yeah,
like.
well, almost 900,
Is it?
899
Yeah.
pieces.
Wow.
So that's one of those sets that every time we would have it in when it was retail, I'd be like, man, that's a good one. I should probably pick it up. And I did that
Yeah.
so many times, and then it was $100, and
Missed
I
it.
went, oh,
Oh.
dang it.
Oopsie.
And I don't have it, but man, it's just such a, it's not from anything. It's just a good set.
I mean,
Yeah.
even $100 isn't
It's
that
not horrible.
bad
It's really
for that,
not.
for that
I don't
piece
know what it's
count.
at
I mean,
now,
price per
but
piece is
man,
still
when
pretty
it was 60,
bad.
I was just, every time I'd look at it, I'd be
It
like,
was a great
how
deal.
is that only $60? You know,
Great deal.
so.
Yeah.
It's so
fantastic
good. It is a
set.
great set.
Yeah. And one of the designers on that was Niels Milan Peterson, who's been with Lego
Nice.
forever, has done
Yeah.
a lot of sculpting for like the classic minifig and some of the other classic animals and
Wow.
things. So, long-standing Lego designer. So, very
Crazy.
cool that he was involved in that as well. All right,
Round
Randy,
us
why don't you
off.
round us out?
All right, I feel like I'm ending us up on a good one though.
Good.
Oh yeah,
Set number 21338, the Aframe Cabin from 2023.
Nice.
I think that set just, there's so much, I feel like it just brings nostalgia to it of like anybody who's ever gone camping or out to cabin with their family or all that. I think it's such a fun little set, and it's the fun little family, and it opens up very easily. I love that it has so that the side opens up and you can play on the inside. It's just, oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yep, such a fun set.
It's a great looking set.
Yeah.
I also love the addition of the trees around it.
Yeah.
That just gives it that feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere. You know, you got the different.
yeah.
It was like
yeah.
the, what was it, yellow and orange tree, and then the darker green,
green
and sand
tree, yeah.
green and sand green.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to change the colors out. Unlike maybe
Right,
some other
yeah.
sets,
Mhm.
you
Don't
can
have
easily
to-
change them out or add little snow pieces
Right.
on the top and everything. It makes it
That's
really
true.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very good set. I've contemplated getting it because again, 180 is the retail price for that, and it's not that bad. It's a good
Yeah.
set. So.
And I feel like it was fairly true to the original idea submission as
Yeah.
well, which is another whole separate topic
Yeah.
we could talk about, is comparing
Yeah.
Lego idea sets to the
Original
original
idea.
submissions,
Yeah.
or even talking about Lego idea sets that were, or Lego sets that were released that were stolen from Lego idea
Right.
submissions. Those are whole other topics which we could potentially cover in another video. So let us know
There
in the
you go.
comments if you want to see either one of those videos. Let us know what we got wrong, what we got right, what we missed. Let us know
Yeah.
all those things down below in the comments. Please also leave a like on this video as well. Maybe share it with a friend if you know somebody who would enjoy our content. But we hope you enjoyed this episode of Between the Studs, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Twilight's coming soon.
Twilight! Yeah!
Lego ideas.
Daniel's so excited!